Hi everybody, welcome back. As promised in last week's video, today we are going to be covering infant hunger cues and how to tell if your baby is hungry or satisfied after a feed. So stay tuned to the end of the video to find out all the infant cues you need to know in order to successfully feed on demand with your baby. My name is Kassi Reyes. I'm a registered nurse and a board-certified lactation consultant. I'm also the founder of People's Lactation here in Washington, D.C. Feel free to subscribe down below so that you can join our community. We also have a Facebook group called Lactation for the People where we have a bunch of parents supporting each other through questions and concerns that they have about their own lactation journey. So we'd love to have you stop by there as well. I'll put a link for that down below. Some of the most common questions I get when I'm helping families start off their lactation journey is, how often do I feed my baby? How do I know if my baby's had enough? What are some of the signs and cues I need to look for to tell if my baby is hungry or satisfied? So we're going to cover some of that today. It's recommended that you feed your baby on demand. So on-demand feeding is whenever your baby is showing hunger cues, you're putting them to the breast or chest. It's not a timed process. I know that you will hear frequently that you need to feed your baby every 2 to 3 hours, but if your baby's showing early hunger cues, you don't need to make them wait till that 2 to 3 hour mark. Just go ahead and put them to the breast or chest whenever you're seeing their cues. That being said, you do not want to let a newborn baby go longer than 3 hours without trying to eat. So if your baby is sound asleep at the 3 hour mark, and this is counting from beginning of one feed to the beginning of the next, then you do want to go ahead and start to wake the baby up. You can always unwrap them, change a diaper, do some skin to skin, and start offering if they're really sleepy at that 3 hour mark. If you're doing cue-based feeding, your baby should eat 8 to 12 times a day, and it's always best to feed them when you're starting to pick up on those early hunger cues. Crying is a later hunger cue, and if you wait till your baby is crying, you're going to have a less patient, more of a hangry baby, and you're going to have a harder time working on that deep latch, and baby may become so frustrated that they just don't want to latch. So it's always better to pick up on the early signs that we're going to go into now. So what are early hunger cues? Early hunger cues are when your baby is starting to shift from that deep sleepy phase that they have between feeds, and if you start to see their eyes flutter a little bit, they're probably starting to get hungry. You may start to see them smack their lips, stick out their tongue like this. They may start to move their head side to side. They may bring their hands up close to their face and start to look side to side. This is called rooting. Those are all signs that baby is starting to get hungry, and it would be a great time for you to try to offer them breast or chest, and a great time to have baby be more calm. When babies are hungry, you're going to see their arms come up like this, and they're going to be nice and tight and close to their face. Once you have latched your baby, if they start to relax, maybe a couple minutes into a feed, you're going to start to see their hands start to open up a little bit. Their fingers will be looser and not into tight little fists, and they're going to start to relax like this. This is when your baby's starting to feel happy about feeding, their belly's starting to feel a little more full, and you know that things are going well. As these arms start to get more and more relaxed, by the end of a feeding, you know when baby's done if their arms just kind of flop down by their sides. So a full baby is going to be totally relaxed like this. If your baby is feeding and you try to pull the hand down and they pull it right back up, you know that they are probably still hungry. On the other hand, if your baby's arm is just kind of like this and you pick it up and they just drop it back down by their side, you know that that is a full baby, and you're probably safe to break the suction by sticking your finger between baby's jaws and taking them off. If you've only offered one side, which you do want to let them finish on one side, you can bring baby to the center of your chest and try to burp them. If while they're in the center of your chest, you start to see them lifting their head like this and looking around, they may still be hungry, and in that case you can offer them the other side. If during the feed you start to feel baby change the pattern of their suck and their suck becomes less consistent and they're taking longer pauses between sucking, then you can start to compress the breast or chest. Sometimes that compression will tickle the roof of their mouth or give them a squirt of milk and they'll pick back up again. Another trick is to massage the palm of baby's hand. They have a reflex here to bring their tongue forward and initiate sucking. So if they are really slowing down, then you can try to massage the palm and they'll probably start actively sucking again. If you're doing all these tricks and baby doesn't initiate sucking again, they're probably starting to get full. In which case, again, you just use your pinky, stick your pinky between the gums, break the suction, and remove them. You don't have to burp baby after every single feed. If they look comfortable, if they fall asleep in your arm, that's okay. If you need further information on burping techniques, feel free to check out this video I have on the best way to move those gases either up or out. I also have made a survival guide for the first 1 to 5 days of lactation. I'm gonna go ahead and put the link for that down below. If you think that would be helpful, feel free to grab that. So just to review, you wanna feed your baby on demand. You wanna look for early hunger cues. Early hunger cues are gonna be when you have the most patient baby to practice the deep latching. Crying is a late hunger cue. So you don't want to wait till your baby is crying and upset to work on a good latch. And feeding should be baby led based on their hunger cues. You don't need to be following a clock exactly. If you're seeing hunger cues, go ahead and feed them. I hope that was helpful. If you have questions, feel free to comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you're notified each week when I post a new video. I am so happy that you are all here, and I love building this community and sharing this information with you guys. I do post a new video every week, so feel free to check out some of the other videos on the channel, and I will see you all soon. Bye!